All right. This is a Monster Hunter Wilds demonstration video. This is Monster Hunter Wilds. This is my guy here. Now, first thing I'll say about Monster Hunter, so, I mean, this is a third person, you know, you control a guy, you run around, you fight, that kind of thing. This game is big on character design and fashion. So, let me just see about if I can go to a place that's more likely to have other players present. But basically, it's similar to Dark Souls. They give you a character creator that's similar to Dark Souls, and you can make your character male or female. You can make them look any kind of different way. I always try to make what I consider to be a cool-looking old man. And that's what we've got here with this dude here. You can check him out. He is a cool-looking old man. And I've designed everything about this guy, from his hair, glasses, and even his outfit, which I chose by combining different armors and clothes that are available in the game. I combined it to create this super cool looking old man. The giant green thing on his back is his weapon, and we're going to look at that in a minute. But I combined it to make this super cool old man. And one of the cool things about this game is it has what it's called the layered armor system, which means that basically you can wear two sets of armor. The first set is the real armor that gives you stats. You can think of it as like the real armor that you're wearing. And then the second set is purely cosmetic, and that's the layered armor. So you can look any way you want, even if the armor that you want to wear is not good armor. So in my guy's case, it's funny, this collared jacket that I'm wearing is actually one of the very first armors you can get. Like it's like a noob armor, but I'm not actually wearing noob armor. I have much stronger armor underneath it. But this is the way I look. So there's that. And okay, some other people have showed up now. You can see everywhere that you see a name, it's another player. So like this guy here, these two guys here, you know, that's what they look like. I think I look way better than them. But that's what they look like. Is this a guy? No, that's an NPC. A lot of these are NPCs. But here's some more guys over here. You can see they're all kind of running around. These two here. I think I look cooler than them. But anyway, fashion is a big thing in this game. It's like one of the major things. The other thing, this game has exactly 14 weapons, and that's like a Monster Hunter thing. 14 weapon types. And I have always only played with the hammer. It took me a while to choose the hammer. When I first played Monster Hunter Rise, I tried some of the other some of the other weapons. Hammer is what I ended up liking. All right, so how does the gameplay work in Monster Hunter Rise? Well, basically, this is a town here. We're going to leave the town. There is an outer world out here, and it's a big outer world. I can look at a map and see... there's 6 or something different regions, and then each region is its own outer world map that looks like this. It's not exactly an open world game, but there's a lot of areas to run around in. And most of what's out here in the wild is loot to grab, small enemies to kill, as indicated by these tiny diamonds, these little purple diamonds, and then big enemies to kill, as indicated by these graphics that look like little creatures. And the big enemies that's the main game. Those are the so-called monsters that you're a hunter of, and you more or less try to... The purpose of the game is sort of to go through a series of battling these big monsters. Now, these battles in Monster Hunter are long, and so I thought that for demonstration purposes, it would actually be easiest if I got into a fight with a low-level monster, because I'll be able to beat it quick. So I'm going to fight the earliest monster in the entire game, even though I'm an end game character.
Right.
And there's two ways to do that. Well, there's two ways to get into a fight with a monster. First, you can just go out into the outer world and just find one. There's always ones walking around. You can just find one. But usually for farming purposes or whatever, you're more interested in finding a specific monster. So to do that, you go to this quests menu, and this lets you basically choose any monster that you've already fought. You can just choose to fight him again. So I'm going to fight this earliest boss, which is this thing, the Chatacabra. Okay, this was the earliest boss fight. So we're going to fight the Chatacabra. So you just hit the button, and it'll take a moment, and then it will load you to, it'll put you back in the town, but now the Chatacabra is there for me to go find. Now the other thing is, these games are by their nature multiplayer. So right now I'm alone, but in time other human beings might show up to help me. And now you can turn it off if you really want to play by yourself, but that's just not really the way the game is meant to be. So other players are going to eventually show up, and if real humans don't show up in time, then NPCs will show up in their place. All right, here's the monster. You see this thing? Now this is the first ever monster, so it's actually pretty small compared to most of them. But I'm going to fight it right now, and we'll see what happens. Now you can see there's no health bar for the monster. And part of these battles is, I mean, there's a reason for that. I mean, they're really long. These battles are really long, generally, the battles against the bosses. And you kind of don't really know when it's going to die. You have to sort of take visual cues, like the monster will start acting like it's hurt. And that's when you know. Now you can see I've got some other people have showed up here. Where are they? Where'd they go? Where's Alessa and Rosso? There's Alessa right there. Now that is an NPC that is battling on my team. Eventually she'll be replaced by a human being, if a human being decides that they want to join my game. And here's Rosso, and he's another NPC. So basically every battle, all right, it's dead. That was easy. Every battle in Monster Hunter ends up being a four-person party. And human beings will have the option to join your party. And the way I usually play is I join other people's battles that are already, I let myself be summoned, so to speak, before other people's battles are finished. I'll show up in their game and help them to kill something off. But everything is it's usually a party of 4 against the monster, and it's meant to be that way. Like the monsters have a lot of HP. This one didn't, because this is the first monster in the whole game, but the monsters have a lot of HP, and the battles are long. They can be 10 or 15 minutes of just solid battling. And so the idea is it's kind of more RPG-ish than you'd think, because even though it is live action and you have to dodge and avoid damage and stuff like that, it really does get to be sort of about creating a build that can inflict a high amount of damage so that your what would otherwise be a 20-minute slog becomes a 10-minute kind of fun battle. I mean, that's the idea. And if you have 4 people and they're all well outfitted and they're taking a lot of damage, then they can get through the battles pretty quickly. So what else is there to show about Monster Hunter? Well, maybe that's it. Maybe that's all I'll show right now. But This is a, you know, full-blown $70 game, but I think this game is worth it. I think this game is actually really good. You can put a lot of hours into this game. And, you know, I've already put in about 50, and I've only had it for 2 weeks. And I think that I'm probably going to put in at least another 50 before I'm done. And a lot of it is about sort of, well, let me explain one thing. A lot of it is about sort of grinding, because the way it works is you go out, you fight those monsters, and as loot for beating them, they give you monster parts. And then you come here to this smithy,
Got something in mind?
and you create new armor based off the monster parts. So, for example, that thing I just fought was the Chaka whatever, right? So let me scroll all the way up. There's a lot of monsters in this game. Let me scroll all the way up. Here it is. So, like, these pieces of armor are made from parts that you win by defeating that specific monster. Now, this armor is too weak. I would not want to wear it anymore unless it was for fashion, unless I wanted to wear it layered on top of my real armor. But when you're first starting out, that's how you upgrade. So you beat the Chatacabra or whatever. You put on all his armor. And then you get to the Quattro Mice, and his armor's a little stronger, so you beat him and you wear that. And then you get to La Barina, and his armor's a little stronger, so you wear that. And you keep just sort of beating these monsters and wearing their armor. But sometimes, like for example, if I want this Rompopolo helmet, which looks really dumb, I wouldn't actually want it. But if I wanted it, you see I need 3 items, right? I need a Rompopolo certificate, I need a Rompopolo claw, and I need a Rompopolo beak. I might fight the Rompopolo and not get all of these things the first time. I might only get some, and then I have to fight it again. So it's a lot of grinding in that way. You fight the monsters to get the parts, to upgrade your armor, so that you're stronger, so that you can fight more monsters. And it just kind of goes on and on like that. But if that sounds boring, it's really not. It's actually really fun. All right. So that's it for the Monster Hunter Wilds demonstration. Let's hope this video turns out well.